FIBA AfroBasket, the first semi-final matchup will be between Mali and Senegal. Well, it's been a fantastic journey for both these two teams who, remember, met each other already in the group stage, and now they'll meet. The winner will go to the final, while the loser will go and play for the bronze medal. Well, the fans now coming into the building of both Mali and Senegal. It is anticipated to be a very electric atmosphere, no doubt about it. And another semifinal coming up later this evening. We'll see the 11-time champions, the winningest team in the history of the FIBA AfroBasket, taking on Cameroon. Well, there's your bracket. Mali, of course, defeating Cote d'Ivoire. Senegal getting a big win against Nigeria. And, of course, Cameroon with a big, emphatic win against Egypt. The final quarterfinal matchup saw Angola go right to the wire against Cabo Verde. Well, Josh Bett alongside former head coach of both Angola and AfroBasket champion in 2015 with Nigeria, head coach Will Voigt. Coach, it's going to be an exciting rematch between both teams, and no doubt that Sagana Diop is looking to get his team to the final.
Well, it really is, and, you know, Mali had Senegal on the ropes, led for 35 minutes of that game, but just couldn't hang on there at the end. So you know that they should have confidence coming into this. So many young players on that roster, but playing their first time on the biggest stage here at AfroBasket.
And, of course, going back to that game between both Senegal and Mali, you know, they had their inconsistencies in the group stage, the disappointing defeat to Egypt. But I personally felt, Coach, it was the coming out party of both Branco Badio and Jean-Jacques Boissy. And ever since that game, Coach, they've been unstoppable.
Well, they really have. And, you know, against Nigeria, that backcourt tandem, so dynamic. 32 points from Badio, 21 points from Boissy. And if you're Mali, you've got to figure out a way to contain those two tonight.
Well, Coach, it's been a very long time since Mali have played in a semifinal of the FIBA AfroBasket. In fact, it was in this country back in 1999. But even if we go back to 2019, where four of these key players, that man being one of them, Omar Balo, played in that U19 World Cup, defeating France in the semifinals. But now it's here at the AfroBasket. Now it's about making history.
Well, an amazing run for them at that World Championship. Four of these players gaining valuable experience, and you see that man right there, Diarra, 35 points, 16 rebounds against Cote d'Ivoire. They're going to need him to have another big game as well.
Well, now, basketball fans, it's the best part of the day. We're going to pay respect and homage and stand for the national anthems of these two beautiful countries. And we kindly ask if you can do the same, if able to do so. The national anthems of two very beautiful countries have indeed been sung, but now basketball fans, we're moments away from tipping off the first semifinal of the 31st edition of the FIBA AfroBasket. Well, this time we'd like to introduce four very important people, as now the coaches and players of both teams will shake hands with each other, and those four people will be our three referees and one commissioner and technical delegate for tonight's game. Well, here at the AfroBasket, we're very proud to say we have three of the very finest. You can see the gentleman in the middle of the court. From Australia, we have James Grigul. From Rwanda, we have Jean Saver Ruhamiriza. And from the United States of America, we have Grant Alexander Todi. The commissioner and technical delegate for tonight's game, indeed, is Mr. Jose Antonio de Conceição Ferretti. Well, Coach, now we're going to take a look at the starting lineups, and you got to imagine both teams are going to come out with a lot of firepower, a lot of emotion, energy, because it's meaning so much more. This is about representing your country, and no doubt, well, it's interesting. Boissi's been coming off the bench.
Well, you know, they've been kind of saving that dynamic combination of Boissi and Badio together for later in the game. So you see once again, Badio getting the start, Boissi coming off of the bench. Interesting if Monet can get going here. So he's had foul trouble their last two games, but definitely a player that can add some scoring punch for Senegal.
Now remember, Senegal indeed have made it to consecutive semifinals and just have fallen short from 2013 until now. This is their fifth semifinal. 3 times they've won the bronze, and only in 2015 did they come in 4th place. Coach, last time they made it to a final was back in Algeria in 2005. But to get back to a final 20 years later, they must go through this team. And I imagine Kanute is going to be in the starting lineup. But Omar Ballo, he comes in and out of the lineup depending what matchup they're up against, Coach.
Well, we've seen a little bit of everything from them. You know, going with the double bigs at times, and you can see here that's what they're going to do. So, you know, Alo Diarra combined with Ballo, and you know, we saw Diarra hit that big 3 to start the game against Cote d'Ivoire. He is capable of stretching the floor a little bit. And then Koulibaly, what a second half he had against Cote d'Ivoire.
Coach Dicko going with a very big lineup. Koulibaly, as you mentioned, Coach, he was unstoppable in the second half. They shot the lights out from the perimeter. And you know what, if they shoot anything near to what they did against Cote d'Ivoire, this is going to be a very close game. But I do wonder, Coach, you know, how much of a presence is the big man from Senegal going to have in terms of defending the paint, Ibou Badji, because he, in my mind, has been one of the top centers so far here at the AfroBasket.
Well, absolutely. He's really stepped in well. The injury to Kamara, such a big void, but Badji has been one of the most elite rim protectors in this tournament.
Well, we'll go to the benches. Let's hear what Coach Dicko and, of course, Coach Desagana Diop of Senegal have to say, but let's listen up to find out what their thoughts will be.
Allez, tout le monde se lève, les gars. Allez, Alou. Let's go. First. See, watch. Allez. Suivez les gars, Suivez les gars.
Well, the fans of both Senegal and Mali coming into the building in fine fashion. As mentioned, now it's about your country. We're here in the 31st edition of the FIBA AfroBasket. Senegal, one of the greatest teams in the history of this competition. 5-time champions. Last time they won was in 1997. But can this team, a mixed blend of youth as well as players in their prime, against a team right now, since 2019, 4 players, Oumar Ballo, Siriman Kanute, and both Hassan and Fousseni Dramé were a part of that U19 World Cup team that made it to the final, falling short to a USA team that right now has some top NBA players.
Well, no question. Half that USA roster now in the NBA, led by Tyrese Halliburton. So what an experience for these guys to have gone through that. So 4 young players, as you mentioned, now representing the men's national team for Mali. And can they draw on that tournament here in such a big moment at AfroBasket?
Well, here we go, basketball fans. We're live here in the capital city of Luanda in Angola. As mentioned, this is the FIBA AfroBasket. If you win, you go to the final. If you lose, well, you have to go for the bronze medal. Senegal, it's been the same story. As mentioned, since 2013, they've always been in the semifinals. And as of 2005, 20 years ago, they actually lost in an AfroBasket final. It's been a long time for both these two teams. Welcome. This is the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket semis. What's going to be Mali with the first possession. Kanute trying to run things. Of course, an outstanding performance by that man, Aliou Diarra, in the quarters. And no doubt the matchup between Umar Ballo and Bubaji is going to be big tonight. Ballo trying to get a seal off. Going out of bounds, but it's going to be Mali ball with 5 seconds, Coach.
Yeah, you can see nice job of three-quartering that entry. They wanted to go to Ballo on the block there. Baji making it a very difficult pass.
Well, they got to go quick. Ballo this time will take a three. That one's up, no good. Senegal very much a confidence team here in the AfroBasket. If they get off to a good start, there's not going to be much stopping them. Kanute trying to take a gamble in the passing lane. Now Branco Badio finds Mane. Time winding down here for Senegal. Well, there's a pump fake. Badio's been on fire. That time Diarra comes over with it. Now Kanute wants to run, throws it up and connects with it. Mid-end. Well, what a alley-oop throw to Aliou Diarra. What a beginning for Mali.
Kanute has been an outstanding playmaker for his team, leading this tournament in assists. You see another highlight lob from him there.
A nice penetration response there from Faye, just going baseline against Aliou Diarra. Coach, Diarra at time almost invited Faye into the paint.
Well, you see too here, Jop getting the matchup of Kanute. That's the defender they like to put on the opponent's best player. And you see Baji with another huge block.
Well, that's his first block. We're going to see a few more of those. And quickly, the turnover converted into fast break points.
Well, if there's one area Mali has to get better at, it's their transition defense. They've been slow to get back, sometimes not having the floor balance you'd like to see. And Kanute, such an important playmaker, has got to make sure he's getting back, protecting the paint in transition.
Well, good defense by Baji. And here we go. Faye throws it down. One connect down the other end. And Senegal responding. Now Koulibaly goes in, unable to finish. Offensive rebound by Ballo. And that's where he's got to be big tonight, Coach. Second chance points.
There's such a big body. Anytime he gets positioned in the paint, really hard to get him out of there. Nice job of following that play.
Definitely like the tempo early on. Senegal with a 2-point lead. Mane penetrates. If it's one thing Mali don't want to do, is allow Branco Badio the time from the perimeter. Faye again goes at Diarra. Diarra comes over to steal. And now Mali want to run. Kanute, he'll pull up for a quick three. And that's a little too short.
Just a little aggressive there from Kanute, but this is where they're at their best. Anytime they can get into the open court and Kanute has the ball in his hands, and it's been good. And you see there the beautiful alley-oop. Diarra on the receiving end of that pass.
Quite surprised. There was a bit of contact there. They allow play to continue. It's now Karim Mane just stumbling inside the paint. And here's where Mali again want to run. Ibrahima Haidara avoids the block and had to really work to get that one to go.
Well, that was a hard finish there. Credit Jop for sprinting back, getting vertical, making that tough. But Mane's really had a struggle in this tournament. They need to get a little bit of production from him before they bring Boissy into this game.
Well, Ballo's done well defensively. And Coach, what he did in the beginning, he just came out and rushed. Didn't allow Badio to the time and space, but how do you defend Ibou Badji?
Well, good patience there from Baji. I think Ballo did the right thing, just crowded him, tried to make him finish with that left, but Baji's so long, just able to finish over the top.
Kanute again working with the ball screen. Now finds Ballo, but intercepted by Baji. And here comes Senegal. Diop. Nowhere to go. Finds Faye. Faye missing. Tips in. No basket. The foul is going to be called on the ground, I believe.
But this is where they've got to be better. You know, you see the turnover from Kanute, and then both Kanute and Ballo walking back. So You see on that missed play, you got to have everybody sprinting back. Every possession matters if you're going to be able to win today and get to the finals.
Well, there's a block by Badji. That was number one. Clear contact there, but Ballo not responding. Now, my correction, the foul wasn't on the ground. The foul was called on the first attempt by Faye. But unfortunately for Senegal, he's unable to convert the first free throw. Second one good. Almost 4 minutes play. 3-point lead to the 5-time FIBA AfroBasket champions. Mali going into dribble handoff. Koulibaly trying to find an opening, but that's going to remain Mali ball with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, it's good awareness there from Senegal. Koulibaly, such a dynamic shooter.
Haidara being chased. Ballo has to flash. And again, Kanute right at the defense. Ballo goes in, and the follow-up, but I think it's a delay call because Ballo, I believe, will be going to the charity stripe.
Yeah, it looks like Ballo got hit on the head there by Badji, and you're going to see nonstop pick and roll with Kanute. You know, that's really their primary offense in the half court. We saw this in the first game. Does he have enough energy in the tank to finish this out? You see a beautiful pass and finish here from Senegal.
Well, he has his inconsistencies from the free throw line, Ballo. Because in some games you see him struggle, with other games he can be very clinical, but now is the time to make them. Second one good. Both teams, very different stories for them tonight. Senegal, it's about restoring history. There's now Branco Badio 3. You don't leave him wide open, coach.
We saw Kanute got hung up on that screen.
Ballo in the paint, avoids the block. Big man showing dominance.
It's a nice pass ahead in response here from Mali.
Here's where Badio is going to kick out. This is good ball movement. Mane now finds an opening. Little teardrop, and that's beautiful basketball.
And it starts with Badio and pick and roll. You know, anytime he gets downhill, it's such a problem. He's had such a great tournament with his decision making.
We love Senegal's defense. Chasing defenders on the handoffs. Ballo trying to use the force. Bumping, pump fake, he's going in. I don't know if that got tipped in by Diarra, but coach, I'm sensing a bit of Shaq-esque right now in Ballo's game.
Well, I think they've found a matchup they like. Ballo's such a big body. Hard for Badji there.
Well, you got to go back to the big man right now. But now Kanute will go for a step back three. Well, Kanute this time making the effort. But Senegal still retaining. Badio made his last three. Almost got that one. Mali only trailing by 3 points, but Koulibaly can level things and getting their first three-pointer. And the Malian fans, they love that one. A timeout is going to be called. I think Dessa Gana Diop wants to talk it over with his players.
Well, nice pass ahead. Koulibaly wide open. You do not want him to get going. We saw him erupt there in the second half against Cote d'Ivoire. 5 huge threes in that game, 5 for 6 overall. So definitely a player that can get hot from the perimeter.
Well, we'll head down to Senegal's bench. Let's find out what the message is going to be from Dessa Gana Diop to the Senegalese players.
Yeah, let's just talk to him, right? We're all right. Let's start. You hit some tough shot. Don't mind the start at all. Branco, I want you in the corner. Kind of you got the ball. Who bet you going to be here? Problem so far. You play in the corner, right? Kind of you're going to get open. Get open. Get open. You're going to go down here, kind of, right? He's going to come get you. He's going to come get you open. Mustafa, once you pass it to him, you go to the corner. Branco, once he passes you, start coming, we go stack. But I want you to set a good screen. Okay. When I get past me, you will kind of to a span. Set a good screen. Hey, cut him. When you're in the corner, he might be open for a lob. If not, you might get a layup or Branco, right? Allez,
So far, Marbalo 7 points and 2 rebounds. But coach, in that timeout, we heard Desagana Diop say, do a Spain. Reckon that's going to be a Spanish pick and roll coming?
Well, I would imagine we'll see that, wanting to keep the ball in Badio's hands. And Balo here is just so physical. It's been a tough matchup for Badji. Badji's such a good shot blocker when he's rotating from the weak side, but having to be the primary defender here, I like the game plan of Mali, just to feed Balo down low, try to attack Badji one-on-one.
Everything leveled up here at 14 apiece. Badio had to save that one. He did well. But not a lot of time here for Senegal. Diop crosses over Haidara. That's it. Well, thought about a kick out, then decided to take the layup, but it's now Togo into the game here for Kanute. Of course, the atmosphere simply electrifying with both the Malian and Senegalese fans. They took a gamble, took a last deflection off Balo. So that's good defense by Senegal.
I just see them forcing that entry fee a little bit. Koulibaly initially thought he had a post up. I think that messed up the timing there of that play. They love that wedge screen, pick the picker action. But you can see they want to go back to Balo again.
Well, here's the combo you like, Coach. Jean-Jacques Boissy and Branco Badio in the backcourt together.
Well, I think they're definitely at their best when the two of them are together. Badio now able to slide off the ball.
There's the go screen action. Badio going to the perimeter. That's good recovery rotation for both Balo and Badio, but it comes to no avail. Faye nailing the three-pointer.
Well, Diarra, you've got to get a hand up. That's what Faye does. So it looked like he was surprised, kind of daring him to take that three. But again, Balo getting a post touch.
Diarra tried to tip it. Thought he got impeded, but no foul given. Only one foul committed by both teams, and Senegal trying to find Faye underneath the bucket, but that's going to be a turnover.
It's actually a nice pass from Boissy. Faye just not ready for it, and you see here Diarra almost daring Faye to shoot that three. He's got to give more effort to get out there and close him out.
Badji's going to go to the bench. Ibrahima Diallo, coming into the game for the first time. Dribble handoff, finish with a ball screen. Togo. One time fumbling, still a bit of time here for Mali. Diarra wants to go at Diallo. Elevates, goes in, finishes.
Oh, beautiful move there from Diarra. And you can see when Mamadou Diarra comes into the game, that allows Alio to move to the 5, where he's been very productive.
Boissy finding space. Now 3-on-2 here for Mali. Diarra fumbles. Bit of contact, no foul given. Drame picks up the 50-50. Mali with just over 2 minutes, down by 1. Mamadou Diarra, he'll fire a 3, and again, he came to life in the second half against Cote d'Ivoire. And look at the smile on his face. He loves it.
He's playing with so much confidence, like you said, so huge in the second half and overtime of that game, and picking up where he left off.
Senegal just needs some composure. Mali inspired from their offense, trying to be physical here in defense. Faye finds Boissy, and a blocking foul is going to be given, so Senegal will get it back with a fresh 14.
You can see the 1-4 pick and roll. I think they're reluctant to switch it just because of the size they give up there. Not a bad foul though with 3 to give, and right here Mamadou Diarra, the tough pull-up 3, and all smiles from him.
Sideline possession coming up. 1:34 to go here in the first quarter. Magtag will fire a 3. Good look, but nice rebound. Sissoko only just subbing into the game here for Mali. Diarra finds Sissoko, thinks about it. Tough entry pass, but falling back into the hands of Togo. Now we're under 10. Togo nowhere to go. Koulibaly, he's made 1 3. Had it on target. Senegal's just able to get the possession. Well, that's an unforced turnover. A little bit of nerves and anxiety you can see here in Senegal, Coach.
Yeah, Boissy just picking his head up there before he had full control of that pass. And like you said, just a little bit of nerves here maybe from Senegal. You've got players coming into the game for the first time. They got to feel their way in. We know Boissy's capable of a huge game here, but off to a slow start.
Now Drame, he'll pull up for the mid-range. Everything on target, but nothing falling at the moment. Only Sissoko crashing the offensive rebounds. Boissy finds the Silla. None of that, he's only just subbed in for Senegal. Trying to find that spacing. Boissy splits the defense, goes in, leveling things up at 19.
Oh, and making a defensive play as well.
5 points. Jean-Jacques Boissy play. Incredible.
Well, welcome to this game, Boissy. We've seen this from him before, though. He's not only a dynamic offensive player, but has come up with some really big steals. And what a huge 5-point swing there.
That's only going to be Senegal's second team foul here in the first quarter. 5.9 left on the clock. Oh, well, you got to love the determination by Jean-Jacques Boissy, but Mali should do better. Drame has a bit of time, space. Can't get it. Got to shoot it. Diarra, does he get it off in time? Almost got it. Well, that is the end of the first quarter here in the first semifinal of the FIBA AfroBasket. And Senegal currently, thanks to Jean-Jacques Boissy, lead by 3.
I think it's a really good quarter from Mali. You got to feel happy with how you played. Just a little disappointing in that final 40 seconds. Boissy coming up with a big 5 points there.
Well, you can see the stats. Senegal 3 out of 7 from the three-point line. Mali have converted 2 from Mamadou Diarra and, of course, Maman Koulibaly. But so far, it is Senegal with the lead. We'll look at the highlights from the first quarter. Well, as you said, Coach, good start from this young Malian team with the exception of Ibrahima Haidara. But that was the alley-oop. Bou Diarra, the man who led them against Cote d'Ivoire. But I saw that last 5 that finished the first quarter. They started to show a little bit of nerves and anxiety as well, Coach.
Well, again, we've got subs coming onto the floor, getting their first minutes in this so important game. So understandably, you can see some of those jitters and just a little loose with the ball. The turnover, trying to outlet to Diarra, not really a ball handler. So some mental mistakes there down towards the end of that quarter.
Well, here you can see the man who's been leading them inside the paint. I love this. This is textbook old school post play, but here was the first three-pointer for Senegal coming from Faye. They have converted 3 in both teams, Coach. They like to, they are volume three-point shooting teams.
Well, they definitely are, and they've played against each other, so you'd think there'd be a little more familiarity in terms of that closeout from Diarra. But, I liked what Mali did in that quarter, especially going to Balo against Baji. I think that's a matchup they can explore when he returns to the game. And for right now, with their bench on the floor, I think you got to look to Koulibaly, see if you can get him going.
Well, fans, if you love the AfroBasket and international hoops, scan that QR code and download Courtside 1891, where you can get all the best live streams and extended highlights of FIBA basketball and competitions. Courtside 1891. Download it today. There is the Spain action, I believe. Boissy's made his last 3. Unable to get that one. Diallo offensive rebound, but turns it over. Koulibaly comes up with it. Koulibaly splits a defense, and he finishes in transition. But, Coach, look how quickly Senegal just get the ball inbound. And already picking up their first team foul.
Well, this is what we saw from their group matchup. Senegal just a little more depth than Mali has, trying to wear them down with this pace of play.
Because fast break points are going to come in abundance from both these two teams. Drame just trying to chase Boissy everywhere. Diallo will fire a 3 and nails it. Number 4 for Senegal.
It's a big pull-up there from Diallo. And all these guards from Senegal knocking shots down right now.
4-point lead currently to Senegal. Their biggest lead so far here in the first half. Sissoko. Got it by Diallo. Trying to power his way in. Again, I'm loving it. Old school. Textbook post play.
We've seen these shot blockers of Senegal neutralize having to be primary defenders in the post. So I like the game plan here from Mali, trying to go right at them in post isolation.
Nice pick by Silla. Nice down Diallo. Big man unable to finish. Now Drame. Koulibaly goes right at the defense and again hanging in the air as he levels things up at 25.
Well, we can see Koulibaly starting to feel good out there, and he's such an explosive scorer.
Well, both teams technically in with their second units. Diarra matching up with Amar Silla. Boissy, hand in his face, takes it. Was on target. But Kanute actually also back in the lineup for Togo. Kanute wants to play that quick speed. Nice dime. Are you kidding me? Coach, that pass was beautiful.
Oh, beautiful drop-off indeed. We've seen this from Kanute all tournament long. Such a great playmaker. Finding Koulibaly, and a quick 6 points here to start the quarter for him.
Well, Maktar Gay will pop out. Diarra Towers for the rebound. 2-point lead to the Malians. Long time since 1972 when they won the bronze medal in the FIBA AfroBasket. Never been to a final. Kanute, tough three, hand in his face. Senegal now a chance to run. Well, still unable to catch it, but they will get this on the baseline underneath their bucket.
Well, good job there from Kanute. It's been an issue for him in this tournament getting back on defense, but that time, you know, having the awareness to know to get back to the paint and deflect this pass. And you see the beautiful wraparound and pass there.
That's tough. That is a tough play. Because everybody, primary, secondary defenders, all have eyes on Kanute. And you know if he's on your team, off guard, post play, he'll get you the ball. He will get you the ball.
You know, he's had an outstanding tournament. You know, offensively, really the captain of this ship. Such a young player. Been really impressed with his ability to find his teammates in a lot of different ways.
Badio penetrates. No help side. Oh, that's got to be interference, surely.
Yeah, and it's a bad decision. There's no need to grab the rim there. The ball's probably going to be going in.
Desagana Diab loves what he sees so far from his players. They're down by 2. You know what I love about his coaching coach? He never gets too emotionally high or too emotionally low. He's always very balanced when he's coaching.
Well, he's done a nice job leading this group. And he's got a lot of experience now coaching in the G League for the Knicks. And another big three from Mamadou Diarra.
We talked about Branco Badio, Jean-Jacques Boissy against Mali coming out and just becoming unstoppable. Coach, since that Cote d'Ivoire game, and that was only the last one, this guy is on fire.
It's just the confidence he has right now. Saw earlier the tough pull-up three off the dribble. This time comes off the screen, no hesitation whatsoever.
Well, Mamadou Diarra, of course, playing for Le Voyage Boulogne, Mets 92, if you want to call them that. The same club where one Victor Wembanyama played in France. 4-point play converted. Well, Fousseni Drame coming in for his brother, Hassan Drame. Because those two players we mentioned, they played in that U19 FIBA World Cup back in 2019 against United States of America.
Such valuable experience from that tournament. Getting the confidence to know you can play with the best in the world. These young players really stepping up in this tournament.
Of course, they're teammates almost everywhere they go. NCAA, they were teammates. Now here in the national team. At some point, they're going to be picked up by the same professional club somewhere in the world. 6-point lead with 6:59 to go here in the first half. The first semifinal of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. I think we're ready to get things back underway. Badio tries to go back door. Boissy just trying to deal with the pressure. That's going to be a foul against Fousseni Dramé. Badio looks like he's just maybe, or may have taken a shot to the Achilles there.
Well, I think his ankle just gets caught up, and that can be a little frightening as a player, but looks like nothing too bad there. Be interesting to see this normally dynamic duo. They've been a little quiet. I'm wondering if we'll see a little more guard-to-guard action between the two of them. Maybe bring Badio up to set some pick-and-roll screens or some ghost screens. Right now, it's just kind of been in the corner, not that involved.
Well, they got the three off, but they didn't get it off in time. Coach, I love what Oumar Balo's doing in every Horns action. Quickly coming out and just stopping Boissy from trying to create any space. And it goes back to what you said. They're quiet, but it really does look like Mali have done their homework.
Well, you got to figure out some way to slow down this backcourt for Senegal. We saw what they can do against Nigeria. So, clearly the bigs of Mali are going to be up to touch on these screens, probably look to show a little bit. And let's see if Mali goes back to Balo here on the low block. Had some success there in the first quarter.
6:31 to go here in the second quarter. 6-point lead currently to Mali. Kanute just trying to be contained by Diop. Diarra, well, had time and space, wasn't going to take that one. Balo in the paint. Got it by Badji. Double team getting ready. Balo quick turnaround, a little too strong. Badio comes up with it. Senegal just trying to restore that identity here in their offense. Badio quick pick and pop, catch and shoot, but that's not going to fall. Well, someone's got to go to Diarra because he doesn't naturally want to have the ball in his hands at the top of the floor. Kanute takes the pass, goes into the teardrop. Mali failing to extend on their lead, but now Senegal with numbers. Diop finds Boissy, pump fakes. They get a hand to it, and they still won't drop.
That's a good look there, and again, Mali slow to get back on transition D.
Well, Kanute finds Balo. Balo's got to go to work. Well, Badji reached in. Balo thought he was going to kick out to Koulibaly in the corner, but unfortunately he flashed to the free throw line extended, and that's a Mali turnover.
Well, that's twice we've seen Balo get the ball on that right side block. Badji doing a nice job of taking away those middle turns. I think most of his success in that first quarter happened on the left side block. Let's see if they go back to him there.
Because that's only Mali's fourth turnover. Senegal, on the other hand, they've committed 8 turnovers, so they've got to take care of the ball. Aliou Diarra also back in the lineup, along with Ibrahima Haidara. Now, Badio wide open. This time he gets it.
A little miscommunication there. Diarra out on the hedge, and Dramé just tripped right over his foot. Badio able to get an open three.
Mali's offense just a little too static. There's a ball screen. This time Faye commits, but he also picks up a foul. That's only going to be his first personal foul here in the game.
I think you're right there. Too much dribbling at the top, and we've seen this before. Dramé being the primary ball handler there. You see the foul, but they're just trying to find ways to get Kanute some rest. So hard to be the primary playmaker the entire game.
And you can see in the case of Senegal, coach, Boissy and Badio, they really have to work to get open from the perimeter. In that case there, it was a coming together. Balo again. That's turnover number 5 for Mali. Mane pump fakes, gets fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line.
It's just not a good entry there from Dramé. He's got to be sharper with his pass and don't want to give Senegal anything easy here in transition.
Well, he becomes the first player in this game to pick up 2 fouls. So free throws coming up for Karim Mane at Senegal. Just gets that one to rattle in. Because from day one, this team, they've really had to battle here at the AfroBasket. Going through the qualification road to the quarterfinals. And then a magnificent second half against Cote d'Ivoire. Wow, that should be Senegal ball. Yeah, great defense by Diop.
And we've seen that from him all tournament. Draws the assignment of the opponent's best player every night and extends full court pressure. You see Kanouté just a little too relaxed there.
Have to take care of the basketball. Second time they've Baji comes up with it. And now leveling things up at 31 apiece. And I think Coach El Hadji Dicko of Mali wants to talk it over. That 6-point lead has vanished. Well, there's a 3-pointer. Not a single body on Baji Balo, nowhere to be seen.
And sometimes it's so hard. Those air balls can be difficult to gauge. I think it's a good timeout here from Coach Dicko.
Well, we're going to go down to Mali's bench to find out what Coach Dicko has to say.
Shérif, des rebonds comme ça, on les chasse si on ne peut pas les prendre. Mais encore une fois, en attaque. Ce qu'on a joué hier, là, comment on l'a appelé? Sibé, on va laisser, ça marche bien. Là, c'est le 3 qui est là, le 4 qui est là, c'est ça, non? Les 5, voilà. Ok, back screen, sort ici. Lui, il vient faire s'il descend la balle ici, le 3 sort ici. Ok, les gars? Hein? C'est parti. Allez, 2!
Well, Branco Badio right now 2 for 5 from the perimeter, has 3 assists, and you saw the QR code for Courtside 1891. Scan it, get all the best live streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions. Well, here's that time finding Faye, free throw line extended from the 3-point line. And here's the coming together between Diarra and Drame, which then led to an open 3-pointer for Badio.
Well, we saw this from Cabo Verde. You know, sometimes when you leave your ball handlers by themselves against elite defenders, it can just wear you down. Might want to consider bringing the big up, setting a little brush screen to get Jop off of Kanouté.
Final seconds, Kanouté has to kick out. Drame's got to shoot it. Good defense, but it comes to nothing. Big time 3.
It's a great kick out from Kanouté. Had to deal with Jop that whole possession, but able to get downhill and find Drame in the corner.
I was convinced. I thought Badio may have got a finger to it. Mane around the defense. Finds Faye. I think a blocking foul may be called here against Mali.
We've got bodies on the floor.
Well, a man that many would say is the greatest player in the history of Angola. Definitely one of the best in the AfroBasket. And your former player, Coach.
Well, Carlos Moraes in the building. He had told me he would be coming back. He has a home in Portugal, but of course doesn't want to miss this Angola team. And when they play tonight in the semifinal.
Well, hopefully Karim Mane's okay, because I think he got caught between both Balo and Aliou Diarra. Dara as well, looks like he's going to the bench. Didn't see what happened to him, but
I think he got caught there with a little bit of a, I wouldn't say elbow, but ball handler flared his hand back as he came off that screen. I think he caught Haidara in the face. Maybe that's something they're looking at here.
Well, the officials just having a review what happened here.
So I see him dribbling through. It's not a swinging elbow. The elbow raises There's from green 45, there's nothing that's a non-basketball play for me. There's certainly contact there, but it doesn't meet the criteria for unsportsmanlike. Do you see the same thing? Okay, so after review, there is no act of violence. We'll resume with the ball on the baseline. Baseline ball.
Well, no unsportsmanlike foul is going to be given to Kareem Mani because, unfortunately for Mani, after that play, he then got caught between both Ballo and Diarra, but it did look like that it was quite painful in the case of in the case of Ibrahima Haidara, but he's on the bench now. Mamadou Diarra back in the lineup, so it does make them slightly bigger though, for sure. Well, Diarra getting a hand to it. And another foul is going to be committed. That one's against Aliou Diarra. And that's going to send Senegal to the free throw line. Sorry, Coach.
I was just going to say, I don't like that call. He's got a deflection on it. At that point, it's a 50-50 ball. And I don't see these players penalized for effort. I think there's nothing there.
Well, this gives Senegal a chance to cut it down to a 1-point deficit. Aliou Diarra, oh, Coach, that's foul number 3. I think Coach Dicko right now insinuating to the scoreboard that it should be 2. So the referees, well, I don't think they're going to review this, but that is 3 fouls on Aliou Diarra as it stands. Coach Dicko, you can see, saying he only has 2 fouls.
The official box score has him with 3 as well. You can see how important that call is. We saw this happen. Actually, that same official in the Cabo Verde game against Angola. Sometimes you just have to understand the moment.
Well, it's now a 1-point deficit. Well, Diarra's staying in the game. 3:30. Kanute all the way, floater, can't finish. Senegal looking to run. They have numbers. Well, they had a 3-on-2 potentially, but Bano just didn't have his head up. Now Badio. Backdoor play, Faye again, unable to connect. When Mali just want to build the gap. Diarra down the middle. Finds Drame, goes in. That's going to be a goaltending violation.
A really nice drop-off pass there from Drame. And interesting, we see Diarra still here in the game, and now Coach Dicko taking him out. Dangerous there to try to get that extra minute. See a beautiful pass here from Mamadou Diarra.
Of course, he's able to do that because his release is actually very high, which makes it quite convenient when he does pull up off the dribble, but still a 3-point cushion here to Mali. Wasi. Now goes to Badio. Then another quick rush coming from Ballo. Job, nice spin going in. Yeah, great move.
That's a beautiful move and finish. The spin away from the middle and finish with his left hand. Not just the defender.
Diarra just throwing a bit of a soft pass. Kanute's able to recover it. Kanute penetrates, avoids the block. Follow up there by Ballo. Now takes him to 9 points.
You can see Baji rotating over, trying to block it. And if you're Kanute, nice job of just getting it up around the rim. You know your big will be able to clean up any miss.
Badio goes to the tough 3. Faye unable to secure the rebound. Drame does his job, so Mali get it back. This will be Mali. You want to build as big a lead going into the halftime break. Ballo's attempt at 1-3. That's not going to go.
That's not a good decision from Ballo. You're not a three-point shooter, but you have been effective on that low block.
Oh, good defense, good hands by Fousseni Dramé. Senegal, way too casual. Derek comes to the ball screen. Kanute penetrates. Still has it. Diarra, this time goes for it, hand his face. And this guy just isn't missing, coach. He is on fire.
Well, the degree of difficulty on all three of his shots. This one may be the hardest. Deep off the dribble with Faye right in his face.
What's that high release? But I thought he was open when he first caught it. But you know what? When he does go to his left hand, which we've seen so far here in the AfroBasket, that seems to be his go-to. Well, we're going to go to Senegal's bench. Desagana Diop's players down by 6 here in the first semifinal of the FIBA AfroBasket.
That's good defense. Hey, I call it so we can finish a half, right? Let's this game by halftime. We get a bucket here, get stopped, we come back and score, okay? All right, we're good, we're good, we're good. Go dribble here. Sasha, you're going to bring it up. Branco in the corner, everybody here. You move fine, Mustafa, you're high, right? You're going to dribble, Branco, you come up. Everybody just follow with the screen, try to turn the corner, you roll. Hey, he right though, he going for the block. We got that guy.
But the guy who's defending the, the guy who's going to.
But still, that's what he does though. That's what he does. He
but I know, but he jumped, the other guy got a box out.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, we all saying the same thing.
Try to turn the corner. Come on, we're good, we're good.
Mamadou Diarra currently, everything's come from the three-point line. Just one of those three-pointers he was able to convert to a 4-point play. I feel like since that Côte d'Ivoire game, his confidence, his belief, it's skyrocketed. And now it's about getting Mali to their first final of the FIBA AfroBasket.
Well, he is trying to do it all here. All three shots really difficult, but you said it. He is feeling confident.
Can they get a response three? Good job by Kanute. Mali come up with it. What can they build on this transition? Senegal forcing them into another half-court set. Senegal do have 2 fouls to give. That's great anticipation on defense by Diop, but it will remain Mali ball with 11 on the shot clock.
Dangerous pass there from Kanute. See him opening up his stance a little loose with that. You gotta be careful with Diop around passing lanes.
Kanute tries to fake, goes in. Ballo follows in, no basket. I don't know if that should be 2 free throws for Kanute then, because they've signaled free throws.
I think they've got Kanute getting hit on the head.
The Malian fans would much rather the 2 points for Ballo, but still Kanute will go to the charity stripe.
Clearly a foul there, and you see Badji coming out of this game. Coach Diop not wanting him to pick up the 3rd foul.
Well, Kanute's only missed 2 free throws so far here at the AfroBasket. Yes, he did miss one against Senegal, and he also missed one against Uganda.
When you can see, we saw this from him in their last game. A little bit of a struggle from the floor, 0 for 6, but he contributes in so many other ways. 7 assists to just 1 turnover. He's really the catalyst for this offense of Mali.
Because we thought he was going to be a turnover prone after the Uganda game. But, he had 10 assists in that game along with 7 points, but he also had 10 turnovers. So, he had 3 against Côte d'Ivoire, 4 against Guinea, and only 3 in his opening game against Egypt. But, as of yet, he's been much better. You said it. Much better this evening. Let's go down to the benches to find out what the coaches have to say.
Une contre-attaque. Maintenant, on les attend dans l'autre camp. Faites attention, ils vont essayer de faire jouer les 2 pivots et chercher des backdoors. À la comment? Hein? Non. Allez, écoute-nous. Vous le tenez. S'il vous plaît. Ok. S'il vous plaît. Allez-y comme ça. Ça va aller. Ok.
Well, they lead by 8, but remember, when they met in the group stage, they also had big leads against Senegal, in which the 5-time AfroBasket champions were able to come back and break the hearts of these Malian players. But maybe, just maybe, and you know this, Coach, when you won the AfroBasket with Nigeria, sometimes you got to go through a storm early on, learn, reflect, and improve.
I think in the case of Mali, it was gaining the confidence that you could beat anyone. You know, obviously, it was a disappointing loss to Senegal, but they knew that they were right there.
Badio goes quickly. Kanute comes up with it. Roughly 3 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Senegal's got 1 foul to give. Kanute again off the screen. Balo's got the mismatch, but it's a poor entry pass. Oh no, they call this on Boissy.
It looked like Boissy had Balo wrapped. Forced the switch there in the pick and roll, and this isn't a bad foul. You had 1 to give. Hard to see without having an angle on that left hand.
At first glance, I thought Boissy got a clean hand to it, which he didn't, obviously, through the replay. And I thought the follow-through from Balo was where the foul was going to be given. But as I mentioned, that's the final team foul to give away. 13.5. And now Mali can have the final shot here in the first half.
You got to be disciplined. Starts by getting it inbounds.
Drame gets it in. You want to go high screen. Balo with Kanute. Here it comes. Now they have the switch. Kanute, well, he had the shot. Finds Balo, doesn't get it off in time. And maybe that decision was made a little bit too late, Coach.
Yeah, just needs better clock awareness there. Senegal going to the switching. That final minute, Kanute just a little late on his delivery.
Well, there you have it, fans. End of the first half. Mali, very similar to the last time they met in the group stage, leading against Senegal. Of course, this is the first semifinal of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket, the 31st edition of this magnificent FIBA Continental competition. And both teams currently with 5 3-point field goals. Mali slightly better, especially in transition. Mali leading the rebound count as well as having 4 more assists. And I think, Coach, the concern for Senegal has been the 9 turnovers.
Well, it's definitely that. A little bit out of sorts at times. But I think also for Mali, able to, for the most part, keep Senegal out of transition. You know, that was a big difference in the first time they played in the group stages. So nice job there by Mali.
Well, here are the highlights from the second quarter. And Koulibaly, of course, was their go-to player in the second half against Cote d'Ivoire in the quarterfinals. And, you know, he's off to a good start so far tonight. But, you know, they come out in the second half like they did against Cote d'Ivoire. This game's over, Coach.
Well, you know, we saw that against Cote d'Ivoire. Got down 15 points, and then that man right there got going. Koulibaly got going, and as you said, they were able to erase that deficit. So you got to feel great about this half. Outside of the foul trouble of Diarra, I think everything went as you would want it.
Well, Ibrahim Afei currently leading. There is Branco Badio. Because hasn't been able to get much consistency from the three-point line. He does indeed have 2 3-pointers, but he's their second leading scorer tonight. But this is crucial. Shot clock winding down. I thought Badio got a hand to it. Nearly got it.
Well, it's a beautiful kick out there from Kanute. Finding Drame there in the corner.
Well, that was Kanute. That was a follow-up by Balo. And of course, Diarra, 3 fouls tonight, but Mamadou Diarra, well, he's got a bit of a KD look about his shot tonight, and he's definitely got that KD confidence. Isn't enough to get them to their first ever final of the FIBA AfroBasket. Well, fans, it's halftime. We'll be back in just over 12 minutes.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
No foul to give. Splits the defense. 9 points with Koulibaly.
He didn't just split the defense. You saw the nutmeg there.
Olay moment by Diabate. That's magic. Sissoko takes the box, goes in. A beautiful play by Togo.
Togo is really giving them.
Koulibaly spinning. There's a kick out. Diarra, 3, corner. Oh my goodness! Mali have set the roof on fire here in the third quarter.
Huge 3 there from Diarra.
It's now a Habamid. Wants to turn up the gears. Mahmoud, pump fake, steps through, and again, big time play by Anas.
That's a beautiful up fake.
Could have picked up a second foul very quickly. Dodal, Bango, oh my goodness! Luanda right now erupts into celebration. Childe with the dime, Bango with the Bango connection, coach. Dodal was a foul somehow, some way. Childe Dodal now can level things up with 4:30 to go.
It's a bucket, and nice job there, finishing over the length.
Oh, get it rejected. Good defensive play. Mane goes all the way and gets denied. Kabundu, that's what he's going to deliver tonight here, protecting the paint. Gardner trying to get back. Well, here we go. Good night, coach. That is Cameroonian Showtime fast break basketball.
Oh, it's a great pass there. Mute climbing the ladder for the finish.
Here's the alley-oop. Mute airline. That was a 9-0 run for the Tigers. And oh my goodness, Houston Rockets, we have liftoff. Are you kidding me?
What a finish there from Okoji. It's been the Baji block show, but Okoji, the ferocious dunk.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
And welcome back, basketball fans. We're live here in Luanda, Angola for the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket 31st edition of this magnificent competition. It is the first semifinal in which Mali currently have an 8-point lead against 5-time champion Senegal. Well, so far here for Senegal, they are indeed being led by Ibrahima Faye. He's got 8 points. Currently 3 out of 5 from the field. He has converted 1 3-pointer, but not usually the go-to scorer here for Senegal, coach.
Yes, Faye really coming up with all those points in the first quarter, and everybody else has been a struggle. For Senegal, outside of these rare highlights there in the first, really couldn't find any rhythm there in the second quarter.
Well, 6 points coming from Branco Barrio. He's converted 2 3-pointers. Now, we did see a very strong end to the first quarter from Jean-Jacques Boissy when he went on a 5-point play and put them ahead. But as you can see, they are being led by Ibrahim Afei. But they need other players to step in and step up if they are going to come back and indeed win this game and make it to their first final in 20 years of the AfroBasket. But for Mali, coach, well, it's been a very inspiring start for them. Mali currently loving to play that run and gun tempo. Mamadou Diarra, everything coming from the three-point line, and even one 4-point play in which he converted. But the one area, coach, which I agree with you on, transition defense, still at times a little bit shaky here for the Malians.
Well, definitely room for improvement, but better than what we've seen before. So in the past, a lot of issues. We saw that in the first time that Senegal played Mali, but much better job getting back. We see Diarra hitting these big threes. I think also, too, another area they've done well, just 2 offensive rebounds for Senegal. We know against other teams in this tournament that's been a real strength of theirs, but the size of Mali able to neutralize that here.
Well, Mali have a very good balance. Some players in the NCAA, some, of course, coming out of the G League, some in France, and some in Italy in the case of Romain Barros. As we mentioned, Mamadou Diarra playing at Le Voyage Boulogne, the same club where one Victor Wembanyama played. But when you look at this game, coach, both teams, 5 3-point field goals. And I said to you, if Mali's got to come back in the second half in that quarterfinal matchup against Cote d'Ivoire, they've got to be more clinical, more consistent from the three-point line, and they did that. And I've got a feeling tonight, coach, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel that the team that gets better looks from downtown and is able to convert might just be the team that goes to the final.
Well, every possession certainly is going to matter. You know, for Senegal, it's been a struggle. You know, Barrio was so good in their last game, 32 points. Tonight, a bit of a struggle, just 2 for 7 right now from the floor. So they need him to get going here in the second half.
One area of concern, of course, here for Senegal, coach, has been the turnovers. Of course, they had 8 just midway through to the beginning of the second quarter. They only then finished off with 1 more, but they've got to be a little bit better taking care of possession. And one thing, coach, that we have seen from Mali, any defensive rebound, any Senegal turnover, they are out on the races.
Well, I mean, this is your 2 teams that are going to want to get up and down. I think, you know, we talked about it earlier, for Mali, improvement with their transition defense still could be a little bit better there, but, you know, that's where Senegal wore them down in the group play game. Just were able to keep the pace the entire time, and eventually Kanute especially just wore out. We'll have to see if he's got enough in the tank here to finish this game.
Well, Ibrahim Afei, the leading scorer so far for Senegal, but you know, for Mali as well, one thing that really felt like it was going to hurt them was the 3rd foul given to Ibou Diarra. Of course, the 3rd one was picked up on a 50-50 on a hustle play, as we would say, but you know, he is so crucial to Mali. For them to come up victorious, they're going to need him right at the crunch time of this game. Remember, winner of this game will play either Cameroon or Angola, our host country, in the 31st final of the FIBA AfroBasket. So it's now or never for both these 2 teams.
Well, and absolutely, Diarra getting that 3rd foul there, and kind of a tough call. So if you're Mali, you got to be really happy with the way things went in the first half. Didn't have your star player, but yet able to sit here with an 8-point lead.
Because remember, these 2 teams, they met in the group stage. Mali built a very healthy lead. They held that lead until the 4th quarter, and that time there was no gas left in the tank. Senegal came back and won by 10 points, a combined total of 34 between Jean-Jacques Boissy and Branco Barrio. And as Coach Will Voigt, my co-commentator, will tell you, who won the FIBA AfroBasket in 2015 with Nigeria, losing very early on to the host Tunisia, but then coming back and going all the way and winning the Tigers their first FIBA AfroBasket championship. And it goes to show, Coach, you've got to go through the storm. You've got to be challenged. Nigeria, they weren't challenged in the group stage. Neither was Egypt. They went to the quarterfinals, and both teams, they struggled immensely.
Well, we've seen all these group leaders really struggle once they got into these knockout rounds. So you mentioned it, you know, sometimes having to face some adversity early on can show you areas you've got to improve on. You know, for these 2 teams, having come out of the same group, they're very familiar with each other. And like you said, very similar to how the first game went. Mali really in control, built a 14-point lead, but unable to hang on down the stretch of that game. So we'll have to see if tonight is deja vu.
Well, the fans in the building, because they'll be getting ready for a very big game. Those Angolan basketball fans, the winningest team in the history of the AfroBasket with 11 championships. It's been 12 years since they've won the championship. And right now, they are chasing championship number 12. If that is not a dramatic irony. But now you can see the Malian players coming together. This young team, well, Senegalese players, excuse me, coming together. It's been 20 years since being in the final. It's been indeed 28 years since they lifted the championship. 5-time champion Senegal of the FIBA AfroBasket. 28 years is a very long time, Coach.
Well, for both these teams, they understand the moment. You're so close to making it to a final, and every possession is going to matter here in the second half.
Well, we'll go down to the benches to hear what both Coach Dicko and Desagana Diop have to say.
Suivez les gars, suivez les gars, suivez. Iba, s'il presse sûrement, il reste pour pouvoir faire un pic pour pouvoir le démarquer, ok? Il fait trop d'efforts. Maintenant, on ne sait pas encore les gars sur tous les ballons. Les gars, sur tous les ballons, on ne sait pas. L'équipe qui va entrer va être la toute première équipe. La toute première équipe qui a commencé. On ne sait pas sur tous les ballons, les gars. Box out! Box out, les gars! Quand vous rentrez sur le pivot, allez, tire. Si zone la zone, allez,
Well, fans, it's the FIBA AfroBasket. If you love the AfroBasket and international hoops, scan that QR code and download Courtside 1891, where you can get all the best live streams, extended highlights of FIBA competitions, as well as the warm-up games ahead of the 2025 FIBA EuroBasket. Courtside 1891, download it today. Well, I wonder what the message was from Desagana Diop to his players. What do you think, Coach?
Well, I'm sure he's just trying to keep everybody calm. A lot of time left in this game. I thought maybe we would see Boissy get the start here in the second half, but Monet again in that starting role. But they're coming out here in a 2-3 zone, so a little bit of a different look. We haven't seen that from them in this game yet.
Well, Diarra, three-corner. He has made a few so far, but not necessarily his go-to shot. Badio goes baseline. Finds Faye. Lead the score, and he extends now with 10 points. Good stop for Senegal.
Well, it looked like he got hit on the arm, too, so great job of Faye to finish through that contact, and Senegal going back to the 2-3 zone.
Well, they have Balo at the high post. Aliou Diarra at the low block. Koulibaly splits the defense. Kanute has to go for a step back. Three is up, no good. Remember, Diarra's got 3 fouls. Got to be careful. That's going to go back to Mali with fresh 14.
It'll be interesting with Senegal in this zone. Mali might want to consider bringing Mamadou Diarra back into this game. We saw him hitting those 3 big threes there in the first half.
Of course, the first few minutes of this third quarter really are going to dictate how this second half is going to go. Maybe not, though. We've seen both teams go through roller coaster rides. We can only find out. Koulibaly getting the screen on the zone. Finds Balo. Big man's got to change hands and finishing. Unstoppable play.
Well, that's a beautiful drop-off from Koulibaly. A nice job of Mali finding a way to get Senegal to match up within that zone. Just a simple pin down and turn out.
Well, Diarra, well, if it's on Diarra, that's number 4. You know what? Not great for them, but it does. Oh, no, they're bringing Sissoko back in. And again, I love what you said there, Coach, because I mean, maybe against the zone you do need a natural 4-man to be out there, but yeah, Diarra, you'd like to be him in the game right now with the 2-3 zone.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Coach Dicko deciding to stay big here. Really tough foul again for Diarra. Have to sit for a while now.
Nice take by Kareem Mane. Off the dribble, 15 feet. That puts it back to a 6-point deficit. Ibrahima Haidara is also in. He can actually light it up from the three-point line as well. Koulibaly finds Balo. Haidara, he'll fire a three. On target, unable to finish. Bronco comes up with it. Badio, 3-on-2. Decides the dish shot, finds Mane, but he gets denied. Oh, it's going back to Mali.
It's a great block from Haidara.
Well,
beautiful extension with the left hand there, and it's definitely off Mane here. Probably got away with a foul there.
Look at that block. I'm thinking in the late great words of Dikembe, not in my house. Legacy Kanute buries a three-pointer.
It was a struggle from him from the floor, just 0 for 6 in that first half, but picking an important time there to knock in his first shot.
9-point lead to Mali. Another turnover. Balo comes up with it. Balo wants to run. Oh, he missed it. Kanute follows up. Well, Balo thought he was going to get blocked by Badji, but in the end, he was blocked by the rim. But I'm amazed. Not a single Senegalese player was able to come up with a rebound.
Well, it's a great job of Kanute staying with this play. You see Balo just unable to finish with the left hand, but Kanute right there to clean it up.
Because he was a three-pointer, 5 attempts, finally able to convert 1. Now he has a chance to give them their first double-digit lead of the game. It's going to be quite fascinating next season to watch him play in the second division of pro basketball in France for Loiret, a team that will be trying to compete and contest for promotion to the LNB Pro in France. Right now, his duties, his mind all set on the national team. The AfroBasket, the final. Diop, nice take, finds Badji. Oh my goodness! Almost ripped down the ring on that dunk.
That's a beautiful pass from Diop. Saw the big rotating over. You see Senegal staying in this 2-3.
Little jumper from Balo. Confidence skyrockets.
Well, we've seen this twice now. It's a simple way to get them to match up within the zone. Just a little pin down and turn out. And you see Balo on that left block, so much more efficient as a scorer.
Nice dime. Mane just had to cut baseline. Good vision by Ibou Badji. Senegal right now just trying to keep this in single digits, but they're going to have to defend. Sissoko. That's good recovery. Senegal just need 2 good possessions. Try to force Mali to call timeout. Diop right at the defense, goes in. Oh, I missed it. Nobody followed up for the offensive rebound. Now, coach, looks like Senegal's come out of the 2-3 zone.
I think in transition, harder to fall back into that zone.
Oh, here comes Badio. Badio bumps. Now, was the foul called on the ground? Oh, it's going to be 2 free throws, so this is good for Senegal. Coach, another positive I want to highlight about Mali is you consider where they are now. They've led by 11 at most, but they've been able to do this even with, well, there's the dunk by Badji, even with the 4 fouls already committed by Aliou Diarra.
No, absolutely. Diarra was so huge in that win against Côte d'Ivoire. 35 points, 16 rebounds on 13 of 15 shooting. So just an incredible performance. But other players have picked up the slack here tonight. It'd be interesting to see how much longer Mamadou Diarra stays on the bench.
Well, what a career this man is having. A superstar. Because at the time when he played for Baxi Manresa in the Basketball Champions League. Now with Valencia, but he's unable to hit the second one. 8-point lead still to Mali. Kanute made his last 3. Step back. Badio unable to secure it. Koulibaly. But again, Mali will retrieve it. Oh, Koulibaly with the pump fake. That's a good, is that the Gore-Tex screen you would say by Sissoko? Or?
Well, you've got the seal off, but also a beautiful fake from Koulibaly. He thought he was going to rise up there in the corner, gets the defender off his feet.
Kanute riding Badio, doesn't want to give him any space. Final seconds. Diop wants to go at Haidara. Goes in, foul's been given, so another trip to the free throw line. That's going to be the third team foul against Mali. Only one left to give.
Diop has done well attacking the paint here in this game. Just gotta be a little softer with your closeouts. So he gets Haidara backing up there defensively. It's a really good job here being aggressive at the rim.
Well, Ballo's going to come out of the lineup, so a slightly smaller lineup as Mamadou Diarra subbing back in. Diop just makes the first free throw. Second one doesn't go in, but big offensive rebound. Second chance points, cutting it to 7. Koulibaly. Oh, he's got to work great then. Again, unbelievable move.
What a great outlet pass. See the wherewithal of Mamadou Diarra knowing he had Koulibaly open there. And like you said, Mali going really small here.
Koulibaly hangs in the air, goes in. Simply unstoppable. Mohamed Koulibaly right now forcing Senegal to a timeout. 11-point lead yet again to Mali. 4:52 to go here in the third. You know, he does great work. Number one, to avoid a block from Ibou Badji. And then on the second transition play, this guy initiates contact. Too big, too strong. And coach, simply just too good.
That's a beautiful finish. You see here, a beautiful outlet pass, but Koulibaly 7 for 9 from the floor. We're used to seeing him get hot from three-point land. You know, this game really doing his damage in the paint.
Leave the emotion alone, right? It's okay. Emotion and then go back. Then you watch emotion again, okay? So we gotta believe it. We gotta leave the emotion alone, right? No emotion. Come on, stay together now. Stay together. Okay? We got it. We got this. Let's go. Hey, go angle slash. Come on, everybody pop, right? Just pop. If they blitz, you just pop. Dive here. Dribble hand over Jean-Jacques. Come Mustafa, da ngay dóor benn écran, everybody go dóor écran. Ousmane Ndiaye. Bu ñëwee da ngay start flying, set a good screen. Let's say if you put you for catch and shoot through.
Let's go. We got this shit. Let's go. Senegal.
Don't force it.
Well, Senegal's problems right now, Mohamed Koulibaly. Of course, he's having a terrific game so far tonight with 15 points, just over his average. Of course, he does play for Stade Malien, played in 6 games in the Basketball Africa League this season, just averaging 14 points. But the concern for him coming into this tournament, he was only an 18% three-point shooter so far here at the AfroBasket. Well, he's been on fire. 12 out of 28 in total. That's a big, big improvement. Badji, defended by Sissoko. Senegal will go for another threat again. Good look. It's not going in.
Right now, Mali going small. Interesting to see if Senegal stays in zone. You see, it looks like they're going to man here.
Kanute. Oh, may have got away with a carry. Sissoko spins. Trying to battle against Badji. Another foul drawn. Another trip to the free throw line. But you know what, Coach? Last time these two teams met, this time in the last game, it was very much the same scenario.
Well, that's true. Mali has been here before, and I like their strategy. Just going right into the body of Badji. He's picked up his 3rd foul there.
Well, now it's Sissoko at the free throw line. Unable to make the first free throw. Yes, he does come in as a relief player for either Mabalo or Aliou Diarra at that 5 role, but I like his aggression. I like his physical play. He has no problem trying to back down anybody, but he's got to make his free throws.
Yeah, it's an empty trip. Got to come away with some points there.
Well, every play is going to matter. Wasi, Denny bumped. Koulibaly trying to stay physical. Still time. Wasi, hand in his face, puts up a 3, way too short. Diop comes up with it. And again, fighting for everything. Senegal trying to remain here at the AfroBasket.
Well, you can see the size of Senegal starting to wear on Mali. They did a nice job in the first half. Only 2 offensive rebounds allowed, but here in the second half, it's been a little bit harder.
Well, it was Njai that came up with the big bucket. Jar went for the fadeaway. Njai coming up with a rebound.
Nice defense there from Boissy.
Boissy that time just trying to find and identify Bracco Badio, but it does become a kickball violation. Well, here's where Senegal potentially could try to capitalize, because Kanute's going to get his respite. But Togo, well, he has proven to be at times a very stable and reliable backup.
Well, you said it, really important minutes here. They know Kanute's going to have to finish this game.
Badio goes in, loses it. That's another Senegalese turnover.
Up to 12 turnovers now. But really important stretch. We saw this in the first quarter. Mali doing so well, and then in the final minute, just unable to close the quarter out. Boissy going on an individual 5-0 run.
I think Desagana Diop might have just called a challenge on this play. Yep, so the officials now will go to the monitor. He feels like Badio didn't get the last touch on that penetration. So we'll go to the monitor, we'll have a look at the replay.
We have a head coach challenge by Senegal. We're here to review the out of bounds. Can you please play this forward in slow-mo? So the initial decision is white ball. So I see white hit it. I see green's left hand last to touch on that angle, but it is difficult to see. Do you have another angle? Can I see this one, please? Okay, forward. No, that's not useful. Different angle, please. Okay, so I see white 12 touch it, green 0 hit it. So I see this last off green. What do you see? You confirm? So after review, the initial decision will remain white ball. What?
No change. Unsuccessful head coach's challenge. Mali still lead by 9. 3:07 to go here in the third quarter. The first semifinal of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket.
It's a tough challenge there for Coach Shop. You know, coaches here don't have the luxury of instant replay on their bench, so really just going off of what he sees. Probably will want to keep that challenge until the end of the game. Sometimes you'll see coaches use it almost like a timeout at the very end of the game. So Coach Shop will probably want that one back.
Diarra's made 3 threes. Second missed 3 of the night. Goes out of bounds. Great work by Job, just preventing Sissoko to come up with an offensive rebound.
Nice block out there. And it'll be interesting to see with Aliou Diarra's foul trouble. Maybe you come back with Ballo. You're really small. It's been hard coming up with defensive rebounds for Mali.
Boissy. For another tough step back 3 again. Second time he's fallen short. Oh, Diarra's wide open. Don't get the ball to him. Koulibaly just patiently waiting for a screen. Tries to muscle his way to the rim again. No stopping Mohamed Koulibaly, but here comes Senegal. Diop, coast to coast.
Well, we've seen that before from Mali. It's a beautiful drive from Koulibaly, but the floor balance completely lacking. giving up the easy transition.
Back to single digits. And the Senegal do have 2 fouls to give. Is now run to 2, but Haidara will fire a 3. Banks open. Coach, did he call it? I don't think it matters.
He definitely did not call that. Hard to come off a screen and fire it off the glass, but he will take it.
Senegal for a second time against Mali. Trailing in the third. Badio kicks out. Silla. Probably should have gone to his left. Boissy, another 3. High arc. But fighting for it. Senegal giving everything. Boissy, finger roll, count it. And now he'll go to the free throw line.
You see the offensive rebounding of Senegal is becoming a problem for Mali. Diarra and Balo off the court. Just a little bump there on Boissy.
Senegal, great response after being scored on. Diop just able to run in transition, and that's what I love about both these two teams when they played against each other in the group stage, or anyone they've played. They will run. They will play a very high tempo. But again, is it a deja vu moment? Can Mali this time? Very similar circumstances leading against Senegal in the third. Can they hold on?
I think the difference here, we've got Kanute on the bench. Diarra, because of the foul trouble, has been on the bench quite a bit. So in that first game, those guys had played big minutes. See an unforced turnover here from Togo. And this is the same thing we saw in the first quarter. You've played so well, you just got to finish these quarters out.
It's just the simple pressure coming from Jean-Jacques Boissy, but of course, people watching this game can't see. I think Boissy's in a world of pain at the moment because, unfortunately for him, he's just taken a very unwelcome shot. Well, Balo's back in the game, coach, so we'll see how this mixes things up.
No, I like the decision here. I think with Diarra out with the foul trouble, you got to have one of your centers on the floor. Also, it's a player you can go to. With Kanute also on the bench, offensively, you can play through Balo off the block. So Mali, you just got to finish this quarter out right if you're Senegal, trying to build some momentum to take into that fourth quarter.
Boissy denies the screen. Hangs in the air again. Tough move by Jean-Jacques Boissy.
Well, that was a tough move. We've seen 2 now beautiful drives and finishes from Boissy. Maybe he's coming alive here.
Again, just trying to make life uncomfortable for Togo. Mali's able to keep this alive. Senegal do get a stop. It's a 2-for-1, but Koulibaly dancing around the defense.
Beautiful drive and finish.
If you're Senegal, you want to go for the final play. Oh, but if you get a quick bucket, well, now you have to defend. Job's been tough. Well, Boissy and Ibrahim Afei, the leading scorers tonight for Senegal. They both have 10 apiece, but look at the finish here. That's a double clutch hang in the air. But he is not intimidated by anybody.
There's a lot of contact on that drive. Just kind of lowering his shoulder, hanging in the air long enough. And you might want to think of Kanute coming back in this game for the last possession. Togo's had a hard time with this pressure.
Finds Balo. Balo goes in, finishes. Senegal have a bit of time. Not a lot though, they've got to go quick. Ajay finds Diallo, 3 up, won't go, and we head into the final 10, the final quarter of the first semifinal here at the AfroBasket with Mali leading by 9. But coach, it all feels too familiar.
Well, it really does. If you're Mali, you have been here before. Just gotta make sure your players have enough in the tank to close it out. Up 7 at the start of that fourth quarter in that first game, and we just see the exhaustion on their starters. I think the lesson was learned from that experience. You see Coach Dicko here giving Kanute some valuable time on the bench. Diarra, because of the foul trouble, also hasn't logged big minutes, so perhaps better suited now to finish this game out than what they were in group play.
Well, both teams committing 3 turnovers in the third. Mali with 2 3-pointers to add to their total, while Senegal very unsuccessful from the 3-point line. Fourth quarter, now is the time for both teams. Everything must click, and if nothing's working, you've got to find alternatives. Remember, Mali looking for their first appearance in the FIBA AfroBasket final, while Senegal, it's been 20 long years since contesting for a championship, and coach, 28 years since they've won their 5th championship.
Well, both teams know what's on the line here in this fourth quarter. You know, for Senegal, started to, I think, impose their size a little bit more in this game. You know, 4 offensive rebounds in that quarter alone, only had 2 in the entire first half. And you see here, Boissy started to really get aggressive, trying to attack the paint off the dribble. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Jop does here to start the fourth quarter. You know, we haven't seen a lot of Badio and Boissy together in this game. You know, what point do you go to that tandem that's been so good for you in this tournament?
Basketball fans, you just saw the QR code for Courtside 1891. Scan it next time you see it. Download the app. You can get all the live streams, extended highlights of FIBA competitions, and also the warm-up games ahead of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. Courtside 1891. Download it today. Senegal will get the first possession. Of course, the atmosphere, the support from both fans has been incredible. Diallo finds Badji, gets caught a double team. That's good defense.
Nice job of smothering Badji there.
Ballo goes in, he gets fouled. Now he'll go to the charity strike.
You can see Canute is starting out here at the beginning of the fourth quarter, so Coach Dicko might feel he's got enough in the tank to finish this out. I don't wonder at what point he comes to Diarra. And here, Mali, you got to be concerned here. Looks like Ballo may be getting a shoulder stinger, but with Diarra in foul trouble, you cannot afford to have him go out as well.
Well, that's quite a worrying sign. Diallo looks like he's in a lot of pain. Ballo, excuse me, there's Babacar Diallo. He was the one who picked up the foul, so. Well, Diallo's on the bench. Oh, Ballo, excuse me, just getting some ice to that shoulder. Hopefully that's not too serious.
Well, let's hope he's okay. You know, my initial thought was maybe it was a little bit of the okey doke. Ballo, not a great free throw shooter. You know, maybe using that hard foul as a way to get a better shooter on the floor here with Koulibaly. We'll have to see.
Not a bad substitution, though, because they do bring in Koulibaly. Well, you can feel the anxiety. Now it starts to feel very real. Because now for a second time against Mali, Senegal's got to make a comeback. Only down by 10. Boissy getting a quick screen. Njai trying to find Diop, but there's the backdoor. Diop goes in. And he's able to finish. Now it's an 8-point deficit.
See the ball pressure of Senegal really picking up here. They know these final 9 minutes of this game so important.
Because the shot clock's not even running. Now it's back to where it should be. There's the baseline rejection time by Badji. Well, they've been waiting for that, coach.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass.
And now Boissy, 4-0 run to begin for Senegal, cutting it down to 6.
And you saw this in the third quarter. Senegal just getting a lot more aggressive off the dribble, looking to attack the interior of Mali's defense.
All 3 goes flying, not going to go. It's going to go back to Senegal. Now they wanted. Oh no, pushing it back. Yeah, the foul was given. 3 blocks tonight from the big man. They could use some huge denials here. I mean, that's a crucial block because that could have put it back to a 10-point ball game.
That's a nice pass and good cut there, but Baji racing at the rim, and you see Boissy has really been more aggressive in the second half, attacking off the dribble. Badio now back in the game with him, so we've seen these two guards do a lot of damage on the floor together.
Well, Baji trying to cut baseline. Again, bumping against Balo, the big man. Kanute pump fakes. Senegal almost coming up with a steal. Now Mamadou Diarra goes in. He's unable to finish. Right now, coach, Senegal protecting the paints, but also turning it over. Now Mali have numbers. Finds Diarra. One more pass at Koulibaly with a two-handed rim rocker.
There was a lot of contact on the other end. No foul called. And led to an important fast break there for Mali. Great job of converting.
Well, Boissy, nice pass. Baji goes in. Baji misses, but a delayed call given, which we'll see Boubaji go to the free throw line.
And this is where Kanute just has to improve. He's been so good offensively in this tournament, but still a lot of growth needed on the defensive end. Mali's trapping Badio here on the pick and roll. And Kanute, you can see at the bottom of your screen, really no effort. He's got to be the low man there when they're putting 2 on the ball.
Boubaji so far 50% from the free throw line here at the AfroBasket. Oh, missing the first one. The best he could do was 7:30, cut it down to a 7-point deficit. Miss them both. Diop tries to save it. Boissy, corner. It's up. Wow. That's their first 3-pointer of the second half.
And again, the offensive rebounds starting to add up here. Mali has struggled to finish off plays defensively in the second half.
And that indeed is going to be foul number 4 against Boubaji. So Balo going to the charity stripe. Balo's only made 1 free throw tonight. He's only been to the free throw line once. Baji is going to leave. Senegal going slightly smaller with Ibrahim Afei.
Be interesting to see how long Coach Dicko keeps Diarra on the bench. I know he has the 4 fouls, but sometimes you sit a player for too long. It just gets too cold. Hard to find a rhythm into this game.
Balo makes the first one. Even through the shoulder pain, he's able to compete. That's something we've got to applaud the players here at the AfroBasket. We've seen some very hard physical play, but, you know, no complaining a lot. They just get on with it, tough as nails.
Well, if you're playing in this tournament, you know it's as physical as you will find anywhere in the world.
Makes them both. 7-point lead. Just over 7 minutes to go. A date in the final, the 31st final of the FIBA AfroBasket. Ajayi wants to attack, goes in, gets denied by Diarra. Comes up with it. No foul given. Jame comes up with the interception.
It's a great strip from Jame, and started with Mamadou Diarra's tremendous block.
That time Kanute almost telling it. No, he does, yeah. The Cat Senegal gets something. Badio finds Ajayi, contested 3. Just not dropping tonight for Branco Badio.
I haven't seen them go to Balo a lot in this second half on the block. You know, they love that wedge screen, pick-the-picker play.
Well, Diarra goes back door, and Ajayi's got a switch. Diarra jump hook. Now both teams struggling offensively, but still Mali have a 7-point cushion. This time open. Oh, probably should have taken the first one. And a foul is going to be given. That's going to be Mali's 3rd team foul to give away.
starting to see some of the fatigue, eerily similar to that first game. Sort of beautiful block here from Diarra.
Mali tonight, only 2 blocks. With Senegal have 3, and I don't think it's any surprise who has all 3 of them, but unfortunately for Senegal, Ibou Badji is on the bench with 4 fouls. Wasi just trying to draw contact. Faye, spinning, but turning it over. Kanute, they have numbers. Has to go himself well. Try to find Fousseni Dramé, then realize the defense recovered, and he made a very tough shot, coach, giving them yet again a 9-point lead.
Well, that was a tough shot. I think he wanted to go with the drop off to Dramé, kind of got caught in midair, but able to find the finish. And Kanute, this whole tournament, so dynamic in transition. You just have to wonder, does he have enough energy? Started this quarter, he's already pushing close to 30 minutes here.
Well, let's listen now to Desragane Diop. They're down by 9. Well, actually, basketball fans, considering that this game is very close, it was about this time the last time they played, coach, where Senegal started to make the comeback. And because it was orchestrated by both Branco Badio and Jean-Jacques Boissy. And I just wonder, as you mentioned, has fatigue settled in with the Senegalese players?
Well, we saw it in that first game. They were really in control throughout. It wasn't until the 3:41 mark, and they still had a 4-point lead, that Senegal made their run, and Mali just ran out of gas. And you saw Kanute start this quarter out. Coach Dicko thinking he can go with him for the full 10. But I'm wondering when Diarra comes back in. He's been on that bench so long. A player maybe that can inject some energy into these clearly tired players on the floor.
Almost halfway to go in the 4th. Badio trying to pump fake. Diarra staying home. Gets a shot off. Big offensive rebound. Put back, just no good. Boissy comes up with it, and it finds its way in.
Again, another offensive rebound, second chance points, really adding up for Senegal.
Well, that's a kickball violation. And if Senegal ought to win this game, it would just go to show their tenacious and ruthless, never say die mindset. Second chance points, but they are down by 7, 5-11 here in the 4th and final quarter.
Well, they've been here before, so they should have confidence to know they can come back.
You don't leave that man wide open. Siriman Kanute giving them the 10-point cushion.
What a shot from the youngster.
And the threes continue to miss. Diop pump fakes, goes in, and he gets denied. Pache moi, not in my house, says Fousseni Dramé. That is a big-time block at a very big-time moment.
Well, it definitely was, and you see the huge 3 from Kanute. It's been a struggle to find these rebounds. You see Diarra now coming back into the game, going back to that double big lineup, seeing if they can control the defensive boards here. It's really been what's kept Senegal around in this game. Second chance points, keeping things alive.
Still time left for Senegal. Badio catching a tough one. Now fires a 3. And could it be his time? That's only his 3rd 3 of the game. Back to 7.
That was a huge response there. And
Boissy comes up with it. Boissy, contact, goes in. Now cutting it down to 5. A crucial 5-0 run. And now Haji Dicko, head coach of Mali, wasting no time, calling timeout. Well, feels like it's happening again, coach, maybe.
Well, again, they chose to leave Kanute on his own against Boissy. We've seen Boissy wreak havoc, and big pull-up 3 from Badio. I think if you're Coach Dicko, you got to remember from that group play game, just how fatigue kind of stole that win away from them. He's got 2 more timeouts to use. If I'm Coach Dicko, I'm thinking about using those really as a way to get rest, in particular for Canute. Might also want to consider setting some high ball screens early on, not having him go one-on-one there with Boissy. Find ways to conserve energy for him.
Well, like I said, with the Malian national basketball team here at the FIBA AfroBasket, the only time they've ever stood on the podium was back in 1972 when they won the bronze medal. They've never made it to an AfroBasket final. And you got to think, after 2019, when both the Drame brothers, Siriman Canute, Umar Ballo, made it to the finals of the 2019 U19 FIBA Basketball World Cup, and at halftime only trailing 2 points to a United States team that has many current NBA players, this is the time when you start to make and build history. While for Senegal, it's been 20 long years since losing in the final, their last time in a FIBA AfroBasket final. And
Senegal in a 2-2-1 here. Let's see if they fall back to zone. Staying in man-to-man here.
Alou Diarra finds Ballo. That's going to be, wow, yep. Badji's out of it, and that's a big loss. Unfortunately, probably one of the best rim protectors in the international game has fouled out.
It's a great pump fake from Ballo. I almost thought the officials weren't going to make that call. A little late whistle there, but the right one. A huge foul.
Ballo back at the free throw line for Mali. He's only missed 1 tonight. Can extend it back to either a 6 or 7 point lead. Well, he's been outstanding. We know this is his Achilles, because has a very awkward shooting technique, but Coach, whenever he's able to convert at the free throw line, it's just a huge plus for this team.
Well, it came into this game shooting only 41% from the free throw line. So like you said, anything he can give them is a huge bonus. And these are really important free throws here at this stage of the game.
Well, he's been magnificent. 5 out of 6. Badji watching on, unfortunately fouling out. 4 minutes now left here in the first semifinal. Badio made his last 3. Unable to get it. Ballo comes up with it. Mali edging closer.
Let's see.
Oh, that's going to be a turnover. No, they caught a foul.
I was going to say, you can see the size of Mali, though, now. What a difference it makes. Able to control these defensive rebounds. And, strong take from Koulibaly. Maybe fortunate there to get that call.
Well, they're trying to say he was passing the ball. So, yeah, it should be a sideline, baseline possession coming up if that's the case. Yeah, so that's Senegal's final foul. And that's actually better for them because it would have been a nightmare had it been their final foul and he'd be going to the free throw line.
This is not that far off from the last time these teams played. Senegal down 4 with 3:41, and unforced turnover there.
Well, Senegal, you need something from this play just to inspire that confidence. You're down by 7. Mali, you just need to keep getting stops. Boissy wanted to go for the ISO, finds Badio. Time expiring here on the shot clock. Badio finds an opening, pulls up for 15. Big time play.
Tough shot there. I thought Canute did a nice job staying with him. I wish you had that review now. Looked like that might have come off of Canute's leg. And here's where this young team from Mali is Got to stay disciplined. We saw a turnover in their last possession. They got to make sure they're strong with the ball. Expect that Senegal will trap Kanute here.
A bit of time needs to be expired from the shot clock, I believe. Just need to find out. I think 3 seconds may be shaved off. Or 23 maybe. Well, it's a very tense atmosphere. You can even feel with the Mali fans. The atmosphere just slowly dampening down. Fans on both sides for Mali and Senegal holding their breaths. Mali, you're 3-17 from making history, getting to that first final of the FIBA AfroBasket.
Leaving Koulibaly now as the primary.
Oh, getting rejected. What a big time block by Faye. Now Badio, Boissy down the middle. Finds Badio, pump fakes, open, 3. Just can't connect. And that was a very good look, coach.
Well, they dodged the bullet there, and we saw this before. If you're Diarra, you got to just get back up and sprint. When you feel like you were fouled, maybe you have an argument, but you got to move to the next play quickly.
Well, I met him at the summit. Remember, Senegal don't have any fouls to give. It's the first time tonight a Senegalese player, other than Ibou Badji, coming up with a block.
Well, if you're Kanute, you got to come get this ball. Can't leave Koulibaly all by himself out there.
Kanute. Nice dive, finds Ibarra. Ibarra gets fouled, doesn't connect. But it's going to be 2 free throws coming up for him.
It's a beautiful wraparound pass from Kanute, and you see the nice shot fake. I think, though, if you're Mali, they're having Koulibaly handle the primary ball handling responsibility, probably just trying to get a little rest for Kanute, but I think you're asking a lot of him. He's got Boissy picking him up full court. I know that Kanute ran out of energy in that first game, but I think this final 2.5, the ball's got to stay in his hands.
White makes the first one. Well, this is it. Every moment now has got to count. Second one good. 7-point lead yet again here for Mali. Badio coming off a screen. Again, looking very uncomfortable with the pressure coming from. May have got away with a wraparound. Badio goes in, another big block. Huge block there for Mali.
Oh, that was great individual defense from Kanute. You can see his abilities on that end. Expect pick and roll here for him late in this clock.
Kanute under pressure. There's a turnover now. Senegal can get ahead. Boissy behind the back. And now they cut it back down to 5. Under 2 minutes.
These turnovers that lead to leak-outs, so damaging. You see Jop wanting his teammates to get up in pressure. I think he's absolutely right.
Well, Boissy reaching against Koulibaly, and that's just not necessary because you're going to send Koulibaly to the free throw line.
Well, you're absolutely right. Plenty of time here, 2-possession game, and you can see the fatigue once again. These players from Mali just got to be disciplined defensively.
Koulibaly's got 22 tonight. Oh, he missed it. 145. The pressure just getting to him slightly. If he misses this one, if you're both in Jai and Faye, you've got to block out because you've got Diarra and Balo that are going to contest for an offensive board. Second one's converted. 6-point Mali lead. Boissy being defended by Koulibaly. Finds Badio. There's another 3. Huge three-pointer. Now it's a 3-point game. 15 tonight for Bronco Badio.
These can see just that guard-to-guard screen action.
Malo just trying to slow things down. 80 seconds here in the semifinals. Putting in the hands of Koulibaly. Now they want to go to Siramak Kanute. There's a high screen. Kanute, 3. Bon nuit. Merci beaucoup. That's big time.
If you're Kanute, you just got to get back. Huge 3. See him celebrating with the crowd, but this game is not over yet.
Oh, the confidence. This young man right now trying to make history, trying to get Mali to the first final of a FIBA AfroBasket. And look at the Malian fans.
If you're Senegal, there's still plenty of time here. It's a 2-possession game. Find the 3 here if you can. Play solid defensively.
Job still has it. Nobody going to him. And then they're going to send Job to the free throw line. 55.4. He can cut this down to a 2-possession game. Well, to a 4-point deficit at least.
Yeah, that's not a good foul if you're Kanute. It was Jop on the perimeter. Had it been, Badio or Boissy, okay, maybe you don't want him to get the 3, but points with the clock stopped, not what you want. The pressure's going to be here. If you're Mali, I think Kanute, you got to get the ball in your hands, be the decision maker here down the stretch, and your transition defense also really important.
Trying to come up with it. Mali survived. 5-point lead. Oh, they come up with it. And Jai, 3, can cut it down. Just can't get it. Now if you're Mali, just hang on. Any foul they commit, they'll send you to the free throw line.
Well, now if you're Senegal, I think you got to run a trap here. Can't just sit back and play straight up man.
Final seconds. There it is. Kanute. Offensive rebound and 1. Ale, ale, ale. The man who picked up 4 fouls spent the majority of this game on the bench. And that might just do it, Coach. History indeed is going to be made tonight.
Oh, what a huge follow there. And you thought maybe Diarra could be that energy that they would need down the stretch. Had to sit for a long time there with the fouls and just coming up with that air ball. Right place, right time.
He's unable to convert. 7-point game. Final seconds. Boissy has to put up a 3-pointer. There's a block. Wow, fans. What a hunt. Well, Boissy frustrated. Diarra looks like he's going to go back to the free throw line.
Well, it looked to me like Kanute fouled Boissy on his 3-point attempt. We'd have to see that replay to know, but I know that's where Boissy's frustration came from.
And just listen to the Malian fans, Coach. This is truly incredible. Look what it means to them. And you got to feel for the Senegalese players. Just not the same 3-point production that we've been used to seeing them display.
I think credit to Mali. They improved in the areas that they struggled in that first game. In particular, I think their transition defense much better. For Badio, 15 points, but 14 shots to get there. 4 turnovers as well.
That's going to be a lane violation. Early entry by Mamadou Diarra. 8.9. I think Desagana Diop is going to call timeout because if you're Mali, Coach, surely you're going to advance this.
Well, Senegal will be advancing this. And, if you're Mali, you just got to be smart at this stage. The only thing that would beat you is fouling on a 3-pointer. So, if I'm them, I'm just staying inside the paint. This is going to be something for 3. There's no reason to even heavily contest it. just keep your bodies in, try to get a rebound if it's a miss, if it's a make. Maybe use your timeout, advance the ball here just so there's nothing under your basket leading to a quick score. But outside of a miracle, it's probably going to be a historic win here tonight for Mali.
Well, unless a miracle does come, as you mentioned, history will be made tonight. And even sitting on the bench for the majority of this game. Indeed, he almost has a double-double. And there was the M1 that very much closed this game out. Well, here we go, 8.9, Senegal. There's the entry. And it goes out of bounds. Mali will get it back. Job done indeed.
Well, that's this game in a nutshell. Senegal coming out of that timeout, unable to execute there, even get a shot. And what a win here for this young team from Mali.
Well, history has been made. For the first time, Mali will go to the final of the FIBA AfroBasket. 1972 was the last time they stood on the podium. And coach, now they have a chance to bring a championship home. Incredible scenes. This young team in the group stage, they looked a little bit inconsistent, but since the road to the quarterfinals and then the second half against Cote d'Ivoire, anything is possible. Why not Mali, coach? Why not now?
Well, absolutely. This young team just growing in confidence every day in this tournament. You can see they had learned the lessons of that painful group loss. Kanute getting a little more rest this time around, had just enough left in the tank, and I think, maybe because of the foul issues, but Diarra really giving them a lift there over the final 4 minutes of this game.
Truly a magnificent performance from that man, Siraman Kanute. He was incredible, finishing with 15 points, but it was Mahaman Koulibaly, and you gotta wonder if Ibou Badji didn't foul out, if the three-point shooting was better, maybe, just maybe, Senegal could have made a comeback. There's a respect from Jean-Jacques Boissy and Siraman Kanute. They battled, but as you said, Mali have grown. They've learned from that Senegal defeat in the group stage, and they'll wait to find out if they're going to play either Cameroon or the host Angola.
Well, absolutely. Right now, you see them celebrating this moment. We tip our hats to this young team. They were in this position, eerily familiar to the group play game in which they were unable to hold on to that lead. And this time around, showing a little bit more discipline. Important lessons learned in this tournament for this team.
Well, this is their time. 2019, everybody started to talk about the potential of Malian basketball. A young Umar Ballo, two young brothers, Fusani and Hassan Drame, and a very young and exciting point guard in Siraman Kanute, making it to the final, losing against the United States, who now today have many current NBA players, and now they're one win away from winning the country's first ever FIBA AfroBasket championship. It's just truly incredible, coach. You said it. Game by game, they get better, they grow, and look what it means to their fans.
Well, their fans, so much to celebrate here. So proud of this team, and a lot of, I think people assumed that Senegal would maybe just walk away with this game, but Mali had other things to say about that.
Well, Senegal definitely came into this game heavy favorites, considering the win against South Sudan, the dominant victory against Nigeria. But Mali, they love to battle. They love to fight. And you know what, coach? They just know how to win right now.
Well, I mean, they've got an identity, so their big three have delivered every game. That young man right there, Kanute, has really set the table for this team, and they've been able to count on Koulibaly once again stepping up. A great game from him. Diarra, although he had the foul trouble, still ends up in double figures, and I think for them the emergence has been Mamadou Diarra. Maybe a X factor for this team. We've seen his three-point shooting now propel them to 2 big wins here.
Wow, they almost came back, Senegal. 2 occasions they were able to cut it down to 5 points, but big performances, big shots by Siriman Kanute. The and one from Aliou Diarra. That offensive rebound at that point eliminated any possibility of a comeback from Senegal. And you have to respect the fans of both teams. They've come to every game. They've shown their passion, their unquestionable support and loyalty. And now, Mali's going to wait to find out who they're going to play. Will it be Angola or will it be Cameroon? Well, that's going to be our next semifinal coming up 7 p.m. local time here in Luanda, Angola. Of course, we hope to see you all as we will be bringing you the coverage. One team's in the final, and that's Mali, Coach.
And you gotta be excited for this young team, and like you said, why not them? We knew coming into this tournament there were several teams that really could make a claim of being a favorite to win. Mali for sure would not have been one of them. So, you know, they have crashed their way into this party, and you just see the confidence growing on them. You know, they've really established their identity as a team, and just one win away from history here.
Well, fans, as mentioned, in just under an hour, Angola taking the floor against Cameroon. That is going to be our second semifinal of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. Coach Will Voigt, myself, Josh Bett, we'll take a little break, and we'll be back very soon.